Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, by popular request, I'm doing a tutorial on how to draw Winx buddies. I'll be showing you my process step by step, so let's start. To start, I'm using Procreate, which is my go-to digital art program. I have a special stack just for my Winx inspired art and another one for commissions, so it's easy to stay organized. I open a canvas with a size of 2500 by 3000 pixels at 300 dpi, which is perfect for high quality fan art. If I need even more detail, I go for 3000 by 3500 pixels. Once my canvas is set, I head to the settings and activate reference, which allows me to bring a photo reference from my library in a separate small window on the left side. So this is the pose I chose to draw today, and I'll probably be using it for my future artworks, for my default pose, for the outfit drawings and everything else. So the first step I do is sketching. So starting with a sketch, I use a free brush called Welly Sketch Brush, which I found online, but I don't remember the name of the artist, so credit for them. It's great for rough sketches, and I like to use black for clear outline. I usually start with a small circle for the head, keeping proportions in mind as I add the neck, shoulders, and the torso. Here's a quick tip. If you need to adjust proportions, use the transform tool, the arrow icon in the top left corner. My favorite option is the uniform setting, which lets you resize evenly without distorting anything. So in this case, I kind of missed the proportions to the canvas and I made the first sketch of the head too big, so I just make it smaller. That way I'll be able to finish the whole thing without actually adjusting it in the end. For Winx style, as you have probably noticed before, legs are super long and slim, but remember to add a slight knee bump for realism, which I like to do myself, even if it's subtle. I sketch the feet with minimum detail, just enough to hint at the toes or a sandal shape for any added touch of realism. Winx girls have also slightly larger heads in proportion to their bodies, so I adjust the head size as needed. So this stage is all about defining proportions, so don't worry if things look a bit off, you'll just adjust it as you go. Next thing I do is the line art. Once I'm happy with the sketch, I create a new layer and rename it line art. First thing I do before starting the line art is reduce the opacity of our sketch layer, because that way we'll be actually able to see better without the sketch layer disturbing us too much. My favorite brush for this step is the technical pen from Procreate's inking set. It's a default brush that's perfect for clean, precise lines, and it also doesn't make the line pixelated, which I love. I adjust the stabilization settings for smoother lines, which helps with the overall polish. So here you can see the line without the stabilization option, which makes the line very unstable, and it's good for details when you want the line to be very flexible. However, for the line art, I prefer to set stabilization amount to around 70-80. And that way you'll be able to move around your arm even if it's not stable, and the line will turn out smooth. And also make the tip a bit sharper. For line art, I zoom in on each part I'm working on. This way I can focus on small details and make each line as smooth as possible. if you need to make small adjustments without erasing, I recommend using the Liquify tool, which is a lifesaver for me. It's under the magic wand menu on the left top, and then I choose the push setting. It lets you nudge parts of your drawing, which is great for fixing small areas like hand or foot proportions, and just make the pressure a bit smaller so that you don't make the drastic changes, which kind of changes your line art too much. Now we move on to the coloring and shading phase. I create a new layer for the base color as well. For reusability, I recommend using grayscale so you can easily change colors later. To color within the lines, set your line art layer to reference, which lets you drop color without spilling outside the lines. For shading, I use two methods. First one is using the alpha lock feature on the base color layer, so shading stays within the area. As you can see, it doesn't go outside the base layer that we made previously. The second one is the option I use most of the time, is clipping masks. So I create a new layer above, set it to the clipping mask, which allows for easy edits and color changes without affecting the main layer. And for the future, if I just want to change the shading color or do something else with it, I can just change that layer without it affecting the base layer as well. When shading, keep your light source in mind. For this drawing, I'm shading as if the light is coming from the left. And we're mostly done. For the final touches, if you want to make some adjustments in the end, I suggest you to group your layers, like line art, base color, and shadows, and use the Liquify tool on the whole group. But there is one thing that you need to keep in mind is when one of the layers or some of them are set to alpha lock, you won't be able to liquify it, and Procreate will actually give you a hint and tell you open layers, which you will have to do. And that way you'll just click the group section and liquify it to adjust the whole picture. Once I'm happy with the piece, I save it as a PNG with a transparent background. For that, you just remove the background layer, and it's ideal for future use. If I need to use it again for my future drawings or my characters, I just copy it into a new canvas and set it as a reference layer for quick recoloring. That way you just color drop whatever skin color you want and then change the shade and the base color, and that way you're done. That's it for today's tutorial. I hope this video helped some of you who are struggling with proportions or finding the right Winx inspired style. Drawing bodies in this style takes practice, so don't be afraid to use references or even try tracing for learning purposes. As you can see, I'm not perfect at drawing bodies and proportions right away, so of course I'm still learning and you guys are learning too, so don't be stressed. Just keep practicing. Let me know in the comments if you'd like a similar tutorial on drawing faces. I have one recorded and ready. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and tell me what other topics you want to see. Thank you so much for watching and happy drawing. Bye!